So, Marcus, we have said that we'd like to have a chat about how best to engage senior management in the broad umbrella of well-being. My particular agenda is around compassion in its broadest sense, but we were saying it's the same conversation. So I'd love to hear your perspective, and then I'm happy to share mine on this subject.
Yeah, engaging senior management, and it really is about them buying into that a employee, their teams are better off when they are their personal time again is respected. You can throw flexible working and that in there. You can also discuss just showing that trust in them. Well-being really, you kind of encompass, looking after people from, holistically, and that incorporates them getting enough rest, eating right, and getting exercise, and that can be less stressful, certainly for the work environment, if they're able to capitalize on those things. That could be incentives for them to, belong to a gym. That can be them, having the ability to have, an employee assistance program. But I think just getting the senior team to discuss their concerns in around well-being to kind of start that conversation.
Yes. And yes, when we personalize it, I mean, a great way in, as you're talking, what prompts me is if everybody, whether it's senior or less so within an organization, has their own well-being challenges, and some are more impacted by the consequences of, let's say, mental health than others. So it's really handy if there are those in the senior management team who have particularly more extreme mental health challenges, because if there's the greater the suffering that they're experiencing personally or within their family or within close colleagues, the greater the motivation for a change to be made, because they have a directly experience of the suffering. So for any of us who want to enroll senior management in this concept, if we can find out those who are suffering, they are likely to be the ones who are most open in that conversation. But either way, my take on it is we want to talk about the consequences of, if you like, mental health suffering or mental well-being, and the benefits of clearing that and creating a well and productive workforce. And also, we are wise to talk about how important it is, and also share in the different strategies that are available. What are your thoughts?
Yes, no, I think going through and discussing what benefits there are, and again, I think storytelling from the executive team level is critical, because they have to buy into it. But again, the more personal you can make the message, if they're delivering the message to the other employees and other managers within the organization, it has to be personal. It has to be genuine. You have to be able to, take that story and apply it to other people. And hey, here I may have a little different, issue than some of the other team members. However, the key, point for across all is having that empathy. We all have. We don't know what every other person in that room or with the team, what they're going through. We can't possibly know that. And having that thought that, life can be difficult. It's certainly been challenging over the last, 18 months or so. And we have to take that into account, that, showing that you personally suffer you have suffered, or discussing some of the trials and tribulations brings it more into focus that, okay, everyone's human. Yes, someone may have a different title, but they are not a superhero. We all have issues. And again, it's all relative. For someone, an issue might be on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very painful, it might be a 3, but for someone else, it could be a 10. But just trying to have those stories brought out amongst most of the team that, okay, and it doesn't make them weak or unable to cope with the pressures in their roles or within that organization. However, it does show that, we all are challenged in different ways.
I think as you're talking, I'm reminded about the piece about
we need
normalizing.
to try to show, we try to show that empathy and that support to everyone around us. And I think telling the stories gets other people comfortable sharing more information. Again, not probably too much personally, but opening up to, be it fellow coworkers or maybe the human resource department, or leaning on the employee assistance program, or whatever other options are out there. Because again, everyone is different. Some things work better for one person than another. I personally find exercise and that to be a really great reliever of stress. And when I'm running, I like to run a bit. I'm not thinking about those things. I have a very clear head and thinking positive thoughts. And those endorphins and everything else that kind of come from that makes the rest of that day or that whatever easier. And that's
yes, exactly.
My personal story.
Yeah, and I'm very conscious about the piece of normalizing the human condition and the human suffering that it is across everybody. And for those of us who have an agenda in enrolling senior management in well-being, we can share our own stories. We can share other stories from, senior executives that are in the public domain. And so that senior people in organizations can realize and understand that this is something that is needed right across the organization, and it is normal to have different kinds of suffering going on at different times, and it makes business sense, it makes personal sense, it makes well-being sense to support the human being within the executive. And beyond that, right out through the organization. So I'm just conscious of where we are time-wise, and we can definitely talk again. But yeah, thank you so much for chatting to me and sharing your thoughts. And until we talk again.
Thank you very much.